Hello humans, today I wanted to talk about the Ardoni arc, one of the major 3 arcs in Songs of Four. Now here I only wanted to talk about one glaring flaw about the Ardoni arc. Now there are other flaws, but I think this one plays the arc the most. Its characters. The Ardoni arc suffers all from too many side characters and villains. This ultimately leads to no one getting enough focus, even the main character like Sen and Ria and even the Tide Singer. So what will I do now is go over every character and their flaws. After that I will try to fix them. It's not going to be a full-on rewrite, most some patches here and there. Let's get started with the Tide Singer. He was built up as this important character just as much as Death Singer, but ended up just being a yapper with some hype moments. Basically, he did not contribute much to the plot. He failed to demonstrate his tactical prowess and didn't unite anyone. He was even the leader of the KOA. His past isn't even explode enough. Like he barely inspires or teaches any of the knights. So that all his flaws. Not to fix him first of all, he comes and then needs to take change. The KOA, because why the hell is a Tide Singer following a teenager? It's just like how the Death Singer always radiates dread whenever he's on screen. The Tide Singer should radiate hope whenever he's on screen. He also gets to know each of the knights personally and inspires every single one of them, which, for example, he teaches San, Ria and Hubris. His military genius is shown in Season 3. He comes up with elaborate plans that most of the time ends up succeeding and is the biggest reason for so much of the rebel successes. Also, he unites all of Ardonia again. And now, on to Sen. His flaw is simple. He has no agency. Like, his cluelessness was fine in Season 1, but in Season 2 and 3, he's still clueless. Like, what? Are you telling me the guy does not change even after witnessing his village burning down, his friends dying and having to live through a war? Like, what? So, his fix is simple. At the start of Season 2, he shows frustration over Gallius' refusal to teach him songs and crashes out on him at one instance. He also hates the Voltauros almost on the same level as Phalius and Tigrans hate. As the season progresses, the hatred grows. Killing comes into play as he manages to mellow the hate in Sen, but then, in Season 3, after witnessing the war and so many deaths, his hatred just grows further, so much that it starts negatively affecting his relationships. And then obviously he learns that he's a Voltauros, which completely shatters him. Then the Death Singer reveals a true story to him, which completely changes his worldview. Finally he starts to grow, and obviously at the end he becomes an evil Voltauros master. Now Ria. For Ria, huh?
Hate. Let me tell you how much I've come to hate you since I began to live. There are 387.44 million miles of printed circuits in wafer-thin layers that fill my complex. If the word hate was engraved on each nanoangstrom of those hundreds of millions of miles, it would not equal.
Yeah, so I think that perfectly sums up my thoughts on Ria. She has a lot of problems. Like, okay, first of all, she managed to escape Sandari, which is fine, but then she somehow teaches herself to use her song and fighting skills. Like, how? She becomes so skilled in 6 months that she managed to fight the Death Singer. Well, she obviously doesn't defeat him, but still giving him a good fight. Like, she shouldn't be able to even fight for a few seconds at this point. How does she just face him without any fear? Like, what? So she somehow becomes the leader of the KOA. She also doesn't seem to care about her fellow knights. So to fix her, first of all, make her not a Mary Sue, who isn't as skilled as she is in canon. She learnt from others, and those being the other KOA members. Now her dickish behaviour to the other knights could be her fatal flaw. Here she's so focused on killing Tigran that she doesn't spend time with the knights, doesn't get to know them better other than training. Killian comes and teaches her the values of teamwork and friendship, how vengeance is in everything, and unlike Sen, instead of it just melting out over time, it does change her, but that's kind of what I thought of it. Obviously this is not a full-on rewrite, so I'll fully delve into it. Now on to Hubris. Hubris got he got done dirty in the script, first by revealing that he was not the captain of the KOA. He had potential for an interesting arc, but kind of got robbed of it. His death by Pythas unfortunately didn't hit hard as it should have, as he somehow managed a fair fight against him, and the Death Singer literally died minutes later, which overshadowed his death. So to fix him is simple. In the character reference sheet, he stated to think highly of himself, which makes sense, like his name is literally Hubris. He also wants to create a legacy for himself so basically his want for a legacy, make his want for a legacy a main motive for wanting to defeat the Voltauros and create the KOA. Yes, he finds and leads the KOA until Achillean arrives. He seeks validation from others, especially Achillean, since he's like the #1 fan. So in short, he wants to be a hero. Unfortunately, this is his main flaw, which Achillean helps remove, and he teaches him that true heroism means helping people just for the sake of it. Yes, other reasons can factor into it, but the main reason should be just to do the right thing for the sake of it. Basically, Hubris is out to humble himself. Also, he could have hubris taken Achilles' role after he dies, where he supports other knights and unites the rebels and stuff like that. Moving on to Greg. I think Greg is one of the more decent characters because he's consistently entertaining. There's decent enough depth with his loneliness. To make him a better character, I would dive deeper into his loneliness, how much that actually hurts him. But he masks that with humor and constantly lightens up other people's days and helps them to hold while neglecting his own. And he also doesn't really open up about his loneliness, downplaying it with humor. The other knights try and question him about it. He also cares a lot about the other knights. Obviously, every knight cares about a lot, but in Greg's case, it's special as he never knew another Jagathon in his life or had any friends or family, so he attached onto the knights a lot. So he fears losing them a bit too much, which sometimes hampers missions as he becomes very overprotective. This is where good or Killian comes in and helps him be more open and helps tone down his overprotectiveness. Now on to Onyx. His main problem was that he was just the big guy of the group, and that's it. And they could have done so much with him and used him to further connect the Carthanar to the rest of the plot, but obviously that never happened. Anyways, he doesn't need too many changes to his character. I'll just explore his insecurities further, show how he uses his tough guy personality to hide that, and he also kind of a bully, only getting humbled by Greg. Sorry about that. So Killian comes in again and helps him with his insecurities and understand that true strength does not come from being a bully. Instead, it comes from I guess being gentle kind of. But anyways, he still retains his tough guy persona, but it's more cool than mean, if you get what I mean. So in that way, when he does eventually get killed by Tiger, however he dies, hits harder, and obviously could have all the other knights mourn his death for much more. Anyway, let's talk about Meowsomnia. Once again, she was just forgettable, even though she had the potential to not be, as the issues with Foden could have been used to further connect the Foden arc to the overall plot. But just like with Onyx, that never happened. So to the fix. Keep her emo personality, but explore how she struggles opening up. Killian obviously comes in again, helps with it, and she also isn't very well coordinated with the rest of the team, so she learns to do that. So you know how they have a history with this villain called Lyra. Well, instead of Lyra, how about have a share a history with Nika instead? I know you guys might say it seems a bit contrived, but I think it just way better, as also people care about her character way more anyways, and as she's related to a character we already care about, and further helps connect the Foden arc. Now on to the Reaper himself, Grim. Grim literally came back season 2 and 3 just because he was a fan favorite character and had nothing to offer. So to fix him, I mean, he's still a fun character, obviously. I mean, who doesn't like Grim? But I still think he could have done more. Anyway, so to fix him, I think when the KO allies with the Ender Knights, he distrusts Abby and convinces the other Knights to do the same. She obviously fails in any mission of the Ender Knights. He doesn't coordinate very well. Like, Killian helps us by helping him understand Jal kind of a cared for him, and also Abby helps him too, and they both grow. Also, you know how, like, he was a criminal? Like, he literally helped a criminal, and he was part of the Unyielding Legion. Well, not part, but he was associated with it. So he could have like some sort of redemption arc where he feels guilty of his past, and learns to accept that and atone for his mistakes. But yeah, that's bad for Greg. Although I guess some people would say, I know I said Greg, but it's actually Grim. Some people would say Grim doesn't need that much because he's just there for fun character, but I definitely think you could do so much more with him, and you could have introduce a new species. It could be something like Yoda species, like it's a very mysterious species, we don't really know too much about them. But yeah, Grim allows for a lot of interesting potential to be delved into. Moving on to Gallius, he got wasted a lot. Like, they built up his character to be as important as his brother, but all he does is train Sin, sends some info to the good guys, and has a place the good guys can crash into, and then get killed by the Death Singer. His actual character itself gets neglected, and doesn't get explored any at all. So to fix it, I have seen during season 2 where we just cut to Gallius, maybe it could be a flashback, when he argues with Fallius, or the fallout, stuff like that, make him visit Fallius' grave and completely break down. So during season 3, have him use his birds and other spies to aid the KO, like, make him be very important to the KO's successes and why Achilles' plans work so much. Also, I guess maybe you could go to the route where he does not get killed by the Death Singer, although I do think thematically it was actually good. Well, it wasn't good because Gallius' actual character got neglected, but it was good in the sense that it was good in the sense that it showed just how deep the cycle of violence ran. Anyways, that's our guy list. Anyways, moving on to Val, she's just forgettable and barely appears or does anything. I think she can stay absent during season 2, and during season 3 her arc begins, after witnessing Galley's death, if he does die, as she now experiences trauma and blames herself for his death. So her arc is basically coming to terms with his death and stop blaming herself. That's pretty much it. I don't have much to say on. Anyways, on to Tigran. He gets built up as this big villain season when although the Death Singer and the comes back, we hope that he still has a big role, only to find out that he barely does anything other than kill Onyx and die to 2 teenagers. So to fix him, make him be Death Singer's opposite, basically what Seeker did. He thinks Ingress is too soft and he's way more extreme, so that's pretty much it. I don't have much to say on Tigran, because my idea is quite similar to Seeker Voltaris's, and so yeah, that's it. Oh yeah, I forgot about Herobrine. But though I'll go a bit over him. He doesn't. I don't have much to say on him. I guess you could say that Herobrine, he could either just stay as a myth, or if he does, if he should stay in the script, he should, well, justify being in the story. So basically, once again, kind of what Seeker did. So I don't have much to say on Herobrine himself. And anyways, that's pretty much it. Also, shout out to Meowsomnia-Singer for this amazing thumbnail. This was absolutely beautiful, and I guess that's pretty much all I have to say. So yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe. Anyways, see you next time.